All right, Fox News alert now from overseas. Witnesses say tens of thousands on the streets of Tehran at the moment protesting yet again the election of last Friday. Now, we are relying on these witnesses on the ground because Iran has all but succeeded in a total media blackout of what's happening on the streets. This was home video fed out of the country yesterday. The presidential challenger, Mousavi, has called for peaceful protest today to remember those killed on Monday. Remember, 7 shot and killed on Monday. Brave Iranian voters and students keeping the fight alive to get their voices heard. The White House has been relatively quiet on the Iran issue. That might be changing today. Member of the House, Representative Mike Pence from Indiana, Republican, with me now. And, sir, you're about to introduce a resolution this week. Tell me about what's in this resolution. What do you want it to do?
Yeah, look, the American cause is freedom, and in that cause, America must never be silent. I've introduced a resolution here on Capitol Hill. I'm talking to my Republican and Democrat colleagues about an opportunity for the American people, through their elected representatives, to express our unqualified support for those brave men and women who are risking their liberty and even their lives, taking to the streets on behalf of freedom. They're demonstrating for free elections, for the freedom of expression, as we have done so many times throughout the history of this nation, I think the American people long for the opportunity to stand up from our people to the people of Iran and say, we are with you in spirit as you stand for free and fair elections in your own country.
And just to repeat this, a week later down the road now, a lot of the protest is based on the fact that they have paper ballots. And yet there were millions and millions who went to vote last Friday, and the results were announced just hours after, I think, the polls closed in Tehran and other major cities. Now, the president has said that he does not want to be seen as meddling in Iranian affairs. What do you think of that comment?
Well, Bill, I appreciate the fact that the president has said that those protesters have a right to be heard and respected. I appreciate that he said he was troubled. But I respectfully disagree with the president's approach where he says, in effect, the administration has chosen not to meddle in the internal affairs. Look, we've got a long history in this country of standing with those who stand up against tyranny in their own countries. At least the American people, I think, long for the opportunity to give encouragement to the millions of Iranians who are risking their liberty and their lives in the cause of freedom. If the president, for his own decisions, drawing the line where he sees fit and has the right to do, is not willing to give that unqualified support to the people of Iran, I think the People's House here across the street would welcome the opportunity in a bipartisan way to bring a resolution to the floor of the Congress to say, we, the people of the United States of America, support the people of Iran who are taking a courageous stand on behalf of really universol human rights.
And to that point, Senator McCain was on the air yesterday with a pretty strong message about how he would handle this. He was talking with our own Chris Wallace last night during our 6 o'clock hour. What should the president say? Put it in words for him.
Well, again, I want to. The president has the right to draw the line where he chooses to draw it. But I'm someone who believes that when Ronald Reagan.
Do you think this is the smart line to draw?
I think when Ronald Reagan went to the Brandenburg Gate, he did not say, Mr. Gorbachev, that wall is none of our business. He went to the Brandenburg Gate and he said, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. We know from people like Natan Sharansky and Alexander Solzhenitsyn that deep in the gulags of the Soviet Union, when Ronald Reagan was willing to call the Soviet Empire the evil empire, it gave encouragement to the people who were fighting tyranny within the Soviet Union. I'd like to see the President of the United States give an unqualified message of affirmation and support to those brave Iranians who are taking to the streets on behalf of their own freedom. It's what Americans have done throughout our history. Many of our presidents have done that, as President Reagan did, and I'd like to see this president do that. But regardless of what our president says, this Congress should take up this week a resolution allowing the American people to support and endorse the courage and valor and the brave hearts of millions of Iranians who are standing up for their fundamental freedoms today.
We're hearing suggestions that Hillary Clinton, maybe Joe Biden's bending the president's ear on this to take a tougher stand. We don't know if that's true or not. Perhaps it's happening in different meetings. But Mike Pence, we appreciate your thoughts this morning. We'll follow your resolution there on the Hill. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Bill.
Republican from Indiana, Mike Pence.